So I'm here with Sean, and we're checking out his build out. And so we got in touch about 3 months ago, something like that. And one of the things that was really exciting about both what Sean's going to talk about here, and also what Tomas, we did that video with Tomas earlier. They seem like, anyway, that they are lightening up on the restrictions for larger systems. And so that's one of the things that we've really been pushing for, is that don't let the utility company try to dumb down your system. Really go for what you feel is going to actually supply your needs. Now, you were telling
future needs too.
Well, that's future needs too, right? Especially when you're going to get electric vehicles. You got a Cybertruck on order. But you were telling me when they were examining your records that you were able to get them to go back to 2017.
2017. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, for myself, I've been gone overseas with work for the last 3 years. When they're looking at my past history, they're like, okay, well. My mother was staying in the house, that's only one person. And they go, oh no, your bill's only maybe $100 a month. That's not sufficient, because the size we're putting in here is a 16.3 kilowatt. Mm-hmm. And they blatantly like, okay, I'm like, well, I'm coming back with 2 daughters and a wife, plus I have a mother-in-law suite we just built, which is a whole separate residency, everything on electric, plus with electric truck.
Yeah.
But the main point that was to help me out was I had them go back to 2017 when we were here in that summer, and our bill was over $400 a month for electric. But the key thing is, it's not the money, it's how many kilowatt you use, because the price was 30% less than what it is now.
Yeah, so I mean that's a great cautionary tale too. You know, for folks to, you know, when they try and pigeonhole you, do not let them pigeonhole you into either a specific year or a specific dollar amount, because those things, you know, you have to make sure that the year matches years that are normal use. People just went through 2020. I mean, nobody had a normal year, right? And so anybody even installing them now needs to go back at least to 2019, if not, you know, earlier. Your situation was, you know, with the deployment with the military. But then even that, like you said, when they do, they need to not focus on the dollar amounts. They need to focus on the actual usage.
Yeah, just like gasoline. Gasoline back in 15 years or 5 years ago to the price now. Oh my God, it's huge. Okay, but look at me, your car is still using so many gallons.
Exactly,
so,
that hasn't changed,
For the kilowatt, it's been a great system. We also did 2 batteries.
Yeah, we'll show those in a little bit here.
Yeah, it's looking good, but I'm glad I'm able to get the size, and just for our needs and the future needs, mainly with the Cybertruck and just the usage. Everything's growing, modifying more energy efficient, getting rid of some of the gas stuff, or natural gas tankless, going into the electric water heaters.
Maybe we'll take a look at that a little bit later on when you get the power on, we can open the door. But yeah, nice clean install. Got a couple of Powerwalls on the wall that we'll see here. Put this little inserted shot in here, and they've mounted the inverters on top of the Powerwalls.
So then another Powerwall Plus.
Right.
And just saying, it's one mounting bracket now that mounts them both together against the wall. Right. But then you can add a second Powerwall if you're not doing another inverter in front of it. So it'd be like a step up.
Yep. Good. And generally that's, you know, the case. And so we did verify with them that initially we thought, oh well, maybe they're using an inverter charger, and that second inverter, or that the batteries were then just batteries. There was no second inverter, but we did verify that they are AC Powerwalls, so they haven't gone that route quite yet. So basically you're still looking at the number of Powerwalls matching the demand that you need for the house. And so currently with the 2 you'll have 10. Yeah. And then if that turns out that you need additional, then you can stack.
I'd say 2 would be bare minimum. People make this the misnomer. I'd say, oh, 1 would be fine. On the books, I said bare minimum. I mean, even if you take out the equation of your air conditioning or a car, just the basic house, you're pushing that 1. And even as normal usage, going the cycling day on, day off with your normal day-to-day microwaves, kitchen, oven, whatever. The two Powerwalls will power the mother-in-law suite 100% day in and day out. They'll cover my house minus my air conditioning. Now I know that going in, so oh well, don't turn it on. But it's enough just to cycle, and the 16.3 kilowatt is enough to power it during the daytime and recharge it. I don't having that issue that Tomas mentioned, and why you got a larger setup, because you couldn't fill it in the same day. And potentially.
Well, he always knew that he was going to expand it. I mean, even when he was first putting it in, Tomas has got enough acreage on the top of his house to power a small country, you know, and so he intends on filling in every bit of that too, and then he's also got a little office mother-in-law cottage thing that that he actually then wants to ultimately split off. But then again, it's all of this. Everybody's up in your stuff. They want to know, okay, well, you know, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? Ultimately, does it matter? Because really, the only thing that matters to me, anyway, that I can see is the in and out at the main supply. Yeah. And as long as you're not exceeding that, what the hell does anybody care what's going on at your house? Yeah. You're obviously using and producing what you needed to, and your incentive not to is financial. You're not going to spend a whole lot more money and put in things that you're not going to use. Yeah. So
yeah, but back with the walls, I would say if you're looking at it, minimum 2. And later you can always add. And nice thing is, I know Tesla's doing their thing.
So let's also help them out of here a little bit, throw them a bone, and tell them why it's 2. And so again, the reinforcement there is that currently the current Powerwalls that are available, they're only able to discharge to your home 5 kilowatts each, and so
constant with a peak of 7.
Right. Yeah. And so so you've got 10 kilowatts that you can work with, but that's now. Yeah. All right. And so in the future, when we say 2, you take that with a grain of salt. Look at the actual stats. If they come out with one, they're talking about coming out with a new one that's 20 kilowatts, meaning 20 kilowatts each of power storage. These are 15 with 13 usable. So if they come up with a 20 kilowatt battery that's 20 kilowatts usable and has a, what would you say, a 7.6 or a 10 kilowatt inverter on it. So then that's a different conversation. Then, 2 would be plenty. 1 would probably work, depending on the size.
And I
see
with this is you're able to, with Tesla, you're able to later on, and within a couple years, that's going to be out. You're able to stack it on. Yeah. You just mount it. Later, you'll show a picture of that clean. I will say, with these guys, the install, I have not an issue. It's clean, it's neat, and I'm really looking forward to once the peel the little plastic off. But just the new inverters are on top. It's glass. It matches their main control hub. Yeah. I can't think of the name of it, but their control hub. It just looks
gateway.
Thank you. The gateway. It just looks slick. And, and it's. Yeah, well, I mean, you'll see it.
Well, like anything else, you know, there's that steep learning curve, and you know, you have to build that core competency. You know, and early on they tried to subcontract it out. That didn't work out so well, and so then they kind of brought it back in house. And now, little by little, you know, Tomas was saying, you know, his install was very nice. They did a great job on that. These guys are cranking it. They're doing a great job. I like the skirts. You can see that a little bit here behind us. We'll do a quick drone flyover as soon as the wind dies down here a little bit, and insert that in the end there. We'll you see these side skirts that they have around it, and they look clean.
Yes,
it's a nice looking.
Even down here below, because unfortunately a little dip from the main highway, you can't see underneath it. And if we're here and we're looking at, you might see, and there's only like an 1.5 to 2 inch gap. That's just for airflow, rain, debris, whatever it comes through. But it's just clean.
Yeah,
it's
clean.
Nice, smooth.
Looks nice.
And for me, it's the second best for getting the whole new roof. With myself, is our roof is a 40-year roof we put on. It's maybe 15 years into it, 12-ish,
and they're still working the bugs out of that Tesla roof. To be honest, I mean, they're, you know, I don't think that's ready for prime time just yet. So
yeah, but even the fact that we don't have hail here, but like in Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, when they have hail-sized golf balls destroying, you're able to pick and swap them out. These are a little different, but just. It's beautiful. It's just, I'm looking forward to when we get the final approval from PG&E in the city in the next couple of weeks. It's good. It's gonna be fun. Just to see it. Mainly, I'll have myself for sure have July and August and September to see where we are before we start falling into the fall and the usage, and that'll be interesting. Yeah, well, fantastic. Well, I'm looking forward to coming back. Sean and I have already talked a little bit about one of the things that having a 16 kilowatt, the Energy Sovereignty Project home is a 10 kilowatt home. I was interested in expanding ours to somewhere between 16 and 20 kilowatt of production on the roof, and so I'm very interested to come back in the when we have our solar minimum in the winter, and let's see what you're producing. I'd love to come back and. You're more than welcome.
It's fantastic.
Pleasure.
Well, thanks for having us over, Sean.